Hey guys, I'm back. It's a new day. Today I actually woke up at a new low weight of 87.8 kilos on the scale, and things are getting tied up. Right now I'm going to do some posing practice, some proper posing practice. Not like what I did yesterday, which was after having protein fluff and being extremely bloated. So right now I've just woken up, had a bit of water, and I actually wanted to get a pump this time, which obviously is going to be part of the competition. So I don't want to practice posing cold and then having to pump up at the actual competition and not being comfortable with that or feeling, accustomed to it. So what I've done is I've had some water, I've had some citrulline malate, some agmatine, which are both pretty good to get a pump, and I had a little bit of Gatorade powder as well, so some electrolytes and some salt, or sodium. So I also had 2 rice cakes with 25 grams of Nutella, and these are things that I would typically do if I was getting on stage. So I figured if I do that now, get a bit of a pump up, do some posing practice, it's going to give me the best idea of how I might look, even though I'm extremely flat right now, because we haven't done the whole carb up process. It's going to give me just a little bit of more of an edge, and the look the best I can at this very moment. So check it out. We do some posing practice, some proper posing practice. Start off with getting a pump up as well. Some push-ups, some banded bicep curls, things of that nature. So while I'm running through this pump up process for posing, thought I'd update you guys on contest prep, how things have been traveling, and the highs and lows, I guess. So where to start? I guess it's been quite a long contest prep so far. Like, it's been like 22 weeks now, and in the early stages it was more about trying to rebuild muscle, coming off powerlifting, going into bodybuilding. So it wasn't really all about getting shredded or anything like that early on. We did consider focusing on getting leaner and then having diet breaks quite regularly and really focusing on conditioning. But I think that taking that approach would have resulted in less muscular regain, because I did lose some muscle when I moved over to powerlifting. So, keeping food steady for a longer period of time was obviously a smart choice. Now, in my contest prep phase, I write down my weight every day. A while back now, and I've done a video on this, there was a period where my weight just got stuck, so things weren't progressing anymore. Some days felt really, really, really bad, other days felt okay, but overall just the weight wasn't really shifting. So, you can kind of say that's my body fat settling point, around 88, 89 kilos or so. Today I'm 87.8, which is awesome because we're getting past that. But in the process, being around that weight, that's when I really experienced times of overfeeding, really wanting to binge and do things that aren't really ideal when it comes to contest prep. In the process of this prep, I've gone into state for a 3-day fitness summit. I've had my wife's 30th birthday, and couple other events have taken place. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the consistency that I've maintained, with just a couple of overfeedings through the 22 weeks. So right now, just running through some push-ups, some rows, bicep curls, some upright rows, lateral raises, just trying to pump up the chest, the biceps and the shoulders for the most part, and we're avoiding the triceps, avoiding the quads, and the abs, because those are areas that when they get a pump, they tend to hold more blood, more fluid, and they actually look smoother, swollen but smoother. You don't really have that sharp, tight feeling. You don't really see the striations that you want to see. So the push-ups are a wide grip, so less triceps, and everything is just like between 10 and 20 reps. The push-ups are a bit more, but just try to get a bit of blood in there, get a bit of a pump. Do about 2 or 3 circuits of this, or until you feel like you're good to go. One thing I would note that is that I'll probably drink more water than I have so far, and I'll be getting on stage at like 6 p.m. So show day will be very different, very, very different in regards to hydration and food. Now, when I say overfeedings, what I mean is going over my macros. Uh, I guess you have to say intentionally, because it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna go over and eat less tomorrow. So I've done that a few times. My wife's 30th birthday, I made a video saying that I was gonna stick to my diet and everything else. Uh, the event was all paid for, and somebody didn't come, so I said, screw it. Given that they've already been paid for regardless, I'm going to eat their meal. So I actually had 2 entrees, 2 mains, and 2 desserts at her 30th birthday, which was a great little break. And I did end up having a Corona as well. The entrees were very small, and so were the mains, but I was extremely full. So it was a lot of food in a short period of time. Took some photos when I got home that night, and I looked way more vascular, which was great. Took some photos the next morning, and I looked fuller, and I actually looked better as a result of that. So that was good to know, and I definitely shared that information with my coach, and he could tell that I looked much better in certain poses, but then also not as good in others. So obviously, it wasn't something that was planned, but it can give us a little bit of insight when it comes to knowing how much to push, the day prior or day leading into the shows in regards to food. So outside of that, I went camping on the weekend. I did a 3-hour hike, and I went camping with some old friends, some boys. So that was fun, and I figured it would be a nice little getaway. Planned all my food, took all my food with me, and stuck to my macros for the most part. But the 3-hour hike obviously isn't something that's in my program, and I didn't want to die or really kill myself in the process. So I did increase my carb intake. What I did was because we went on a 6 a.m. hike, I actually ate my breakfast carbs, or like a high amount of carbs, right before I went to bed, which would serve as energy for the morning hike. And it did so very well, because I know that if I didn't do that, I would have been very dizzy and felt unwell, which happens at this phase of contest prep. Very easy to get dizzy, very easy to feel like you want to pass out. So having those extra carbs helped a lot, and I didn't end up trying to account for them into the next day. 3 hours of walking, hiking up and down hills and stuff, we're not going to try to act like that didn't happen. So I utilized those extra carbs towards that activity, and the very next morning, or that same day, I just hit my macros as a normal day. So I guess you could say Saturday night I had a bunch more carbs than normal, but it was to facilitate more energy towards my hike, which was quite fun. And I think it's good to break things up a bit and have a little bit of fun. I'll have to say, as a result of that though, my calves are freaking hurting. Like, I have some crazy DOMs. It's almost like muscle damage. So you don't want to be doing that like 1 day out or 2 days out or even a week out from contest prep or from the stage. But I think 2 weeks out, not really a big deal. And you might tell from the way that I talk and stuff that bodybuilding isn't the be all and end all for me, but instead it's a journey that I really enjoy, appreciate, and am passionate about. So lifting, eating, and being consistent are the main 3 things that matter to me most. But this is my posing practice video. That's a wrap. I did 3 rounds in different angles. The camera footage isn't that great. The angles aren't that good, but it gives you a better idea than yesterday's video. Thanks for watching, guys.